name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the chanting of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, dear devotees, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandatam. I'm Anjali Gupta. Yeah, I'm basically from India, but right now I'm in California.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry, I didn't get your name, Mataji. Please forgive me.
Mataji, my name is Anjali Gupta.
Okay. Hare Krishna Anjali Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Assembled devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna Mohini Lakshmi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your services. And thank you, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your association. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there anyone else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Shyama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Syama Gauri Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your wonderful services. Thank you, Mataji, for joining the call.
Thank you,
Welcome to the
Mataji,
call.
for joining from India and still doing services. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji, for giving us the opportunity, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there anyone else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and Gauranga, all glories to all the assembled devotees on the call. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. And thank you for all your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji, and pranam to you and all Vaishnavacharya, Srila Prabhupada, Chalur Vijay, Vrinda from Atlanta, Paniyati Dham.
Hare Bol. Hare Krishna Vranda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. And all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your sweet association to us. Hare Bol Mataji, for the Paniyati Dham. You remember tomorrow we are celebrating Paniyati festival. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, today I think.
Tomorrow, Mataji.
Today is Sunday, na?
Yeah, on Monday we are in our
In
temple. we are-
US we are celebrating today, Mataji. That's why Mataji
Oh,
is
okay,
saying
okay.
like that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Actually,
Sorry.
yesterday was Rath Yatra in Atlanta, and next day of Rath Yatra they celebrate Panihatti. Yes,
Even in Houston, it is today only, Mataji. Yeah, lot of temples in US are celebrating it today. Yeah, Panihati.
only.
Very good. Panihati Mahotsav ki jai. Very good. Okay, Mataji, shall we read the introduction, Mataji? I am Prabhuji is there.
Yes,
Or-
Mataji. I'll on the recording. Give me a second.
Okay. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Akincana Krishna Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 4th chapter, and text number 5 to 6. Before handovering the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Ayan Prabhu, so that Prabhuji will read the introduction about Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, now please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dear Pranam. I offer my obeisances to all the assembled devotees, all glories to Krishna Prabhupada. Here is a brief introduction for our dear speaker, His Grace Akinchana Krishna Das. Prabhuji hails from Mumbai and he is dedicated to full-time monastic services, Brahmacharya, in ISKCON from the year 1999. He worked in the industry for 2 years in Blue Star Limited and PC Software. After completing his graduation in electronics and telecom engineering and post-graduation in business management. Later, after joining ISKCON, Prabhuji served as value educator in schools, Gita for college youth, and he also gives seminars for corporate young professionals on stress and time management, Gita principles for a satisfying life, and motivational seminars for the youth in ISKCON Chaupati's Prerana Youth Festival. Prabhuji is a regular Srimad Bhagavatam speaker in ISKCON Chaupati. He has been giving spiritual discourses for devotee communities in Panvel, Kharghar, and Seawoods, South Mumbai. Prabhuji also organizes 2-month spiritual trips and talks for British sabbatical youth from the Bhakti Vedanta manor every year. Here is the brief introduction for Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Over
Krishna.
to
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much for giving the brief introduction. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your valuable and time and association to us and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, whenever ready, please take over the call, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So you can display the verse.
Yes, Prabhuji, and you can also do if you want, because last time you did, I remember. I gave you co-host, but I can do it for you if you
All
can.
right, I can do it, no problem.
Thank you, Prabhuji, because I remember last time you did like to share the screen. That's why I'm.
All right. So it's not allowing me to share the screen.
Really fine. That's okay, Prabhuji. I can share it. But you are the co-host.
But it's not allowing me. Okay. So we are on text number 5, Canto 8, chapter number 4. Yeah, 845. Okay. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Sonukampita ishena parikramya pranamyatam lokasya pashyato lokam swamagan mukta kilvishaha. Having been favored by the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and having regained his original form, King Huhu circumambulated the Lord and offered his obeisances. Then, in the presence of all the demigods, headed by Brahma, he returned to Gandharvaloka. He had been freed of all sinful reactions. Hare Krishna. So, in this chapter, the previous birth of Gajendra, the elephant, and the previous life of the crocodile who had grasped the leg of Gajendra is being described. So this is the story or the episode that we narrate as an example for the Artha who comes to the Lord. In the 7th chapter, 16th verse, Krishna speaks about 4 kinds of people who come to him. Artho jigyasur artharthi jnani cha bharatarshava. So this is the example that we give of Gajendra, who turned to the Lord at the time of difficulty. Artha means one who is in difficulty. So, one of the very famous episodes of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, just to give a recap of the story, that Gajendra is the kind of the king of the jungle, a leader, of sorts, and he's leading his family members, his wives and his children, to the place where they were going to have a swim in the vicinity of the Trikuta mountains. And when he entered into the water, he was bitten in the leg by this crocodile. By the way, just to get a understanding whether you all are hearing me, is my voice audible to you? Is it low or?
Audible, Prabhu. Nice.
Okay. So he was gripped by the feet by this crocodile, and he didn't see it as a threat initially, but then he saw that he was being overpowered, and he tried to get free of that crocodile, but he couldn't. And looking towards his family members who were helplessly looking towards him, and his children also, but they couldn't do anything. And then finally, he relents and he realizes that his time was up. And in that struggle, 1,000 years had passed. And just when he had lost all hopes that he would survive. And at that time, he remembered the Lord and a few verses glorifying the Lord, which he had memorized in his past life. And he raised a lotus and he called out to the Lord and prayed to the Lord. And the Lord, sitting on the Garuda, appeared there immediately. And with his Sudarshan Chakra, he chopped off the head of the crocodile and released Gajendra and blessed him with his touch and awarded him Sarupya Mukti. So, many interesting lessons to be learned in this episode. The bite of the crocodile represents samsara, which gives a lot of trouble to the living entity. And all of us are, all of us conditioned souls, assuming that we are sadhakas and we are caught up in samsara and we aspire deliverance from this situation, are miserably caught up in samsara. And when we fall into trouble, it serves as a motivation to move towards the Lord. So it goes to show the importance of suffering in this world. A lot has been spoken about the joys of this world. Materialistic people, they speak about the joys of this world. But devotees, they speak about the glories of the sufferings of this world. Because all the obstacles and all the sufferings in this world are also the servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains that all obstacles are also serving the Lord. So they serve this very important purpose of turning us away from this world, from the samsara, from the enjoyments that we seek here, and make us turn towards the Lord. And we see that devotees, saints, they say that that we always remember the Lord in difficult times. दुख में सिमरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई. सुख में सिमरन करे तो दुख काहे को होए. Very popular saying amongst devotees in India. It is said that everyone remembers the Lord, or most people, fortunate people, they remember the Lord in difficult times. When there are difficulties, dukkha mein simran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi. People generally don't remember the Lord in their good times. And then he goes to say that if someone remembers the Lord in the good times, then there is no question of bad times. So therefore, the scriptures, they say that even the miseries in this world, they serve a very important purpose to turn us away from sansar and take us towards the Lord. And but of course, we have to know that not everyone turns towards the Lord. As the Lord speaks in the Bhagavad Gita, that Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukrituna arjuna artho jigyasur artharthi jnani cha bharatarshabha. So he says that that only the Sukritis, when they are in artha, that means they are in suffering, when they are faced with miseries, they turn towards the Lord. There are so many people in this world who are undergoing difficulties. Some of them turn towards drinks, some of them commit suicide, some of them turn towards other things to distract their minds. There are so many hundreds of ways, means to which they turn to, but they don't turn towards Krishna. Or they may also become, or they may become spiritual, but they go towards, the Advaita Vedanta and things like that, where they also speak about liberation and mukti, nirvikalpa samadhi and things like that, but they don't come to Krishna. Or if they come to Krishna, it's a means to go beyond, and as they say, nirvikalpa samadhi and all that. So very few people actually come to Krishna. So who are those who come to Krishna? It is Sukriti. So what is Sukriti? Sukriti is devotional service or devotional credits that he has accumulated, which enables him, serves as a currency to enter into the realm of devotional service. And here we can see Gajendra. This is a classical example for Artha, that he, in his past life, was a king whose name was Indra Dumna, who was a ruler in Tamil Nadu, South India, and who, following the Vedic custom, duly renounced the post of the king, giving up his kingdom and his family also, and going into recluse to sit in isolation and meditate on the Lord in the association of devotees. And while he was doing that, he was approached by Agastya Rishi while he was in trance and meditating. But Agastya did not notice him doing that, and neither did Indradumna Maharaj notice Agastya Rishi. And being ignored apparently or perceived in that way, Agastya Rishi felt offended and felt that Indradumna Maharaj is being unkind, is not gentle, or he's being lazy, dull, slow, that he did not get up from his seat in excitement. Oh, here is an Atithi. Because one of the very important duties of any person is to receive a guest duly, in a manner that he deserves. And obviously, being one of the greatest Brahmins, Agastya Rishi, he should have been received promptly. He should have gotten up from his seat and with a smiling face, he should have come and he should have received him and offered him a seat. And the Upanishads speak about the Atithi being God, one of the gods amongst many. Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhavaha, Acharyo Devo Bhavaha, Atithi Devo Bhavaha. Consider your mother as God, your father as God, your guru as God, and also Atithi. Atithi means a guest who arrives without Atithi, without previous intimation, without previous appointment. Unexpectedly he comes. So therefore, one should never turn away or say that, "Arey, you came without appointment. Arey, phone to kiya ho tha." We could have. Sometimes we feel disturbed when people come to meet us at a time that we may not expect. But yeah, Shastras say we should be willing to receive a guest who is an Atithi. That means who has come before or untimely, unexpected time, before, without previous intimation. Atithi. Atithi Devo Bhava. Treat him as good as God. Worship him. So naturally, expecting that from this sage, naturally Indra Dumna Maharaj had taken up a role of a sage now, and expecting that he would do better. Agastya Rishi felt very bad and felt that he's become degraded and curses him to become dull, slow, dull-witted, as we say. And that's an elephant. And that's why we see that elephants are so huge and so mighty, so powerful physically, but still it ends up serving a master. What need is there? If it had brains, the intelligence, he would not do so. But still we see that elephants are employed to do physical work. So elephants are dull, elephants are slow, and sometimes they can be not gentle. So therefore, that was a curse. So we should try to imbibe this very important lesson, to treat the guests, the Atithis, with great respect, because they are as good as God. A very important lesson, even though it is not of the highest order. And but we see the repercussions that followed was that this great devotee was cursed as a result. So, didn't the Lord protect him? Now, that would be the question that one may ask, that how is it that even devotees who are performing devotional service and he gets cursed while he was serving the Lord? You know, people ask this question, and in fact, that question has become one of the titles of one of the sessions that we take on the Bhagavad Gita. The title is, "Why do bad things happen to good people?" It could be the other way around, but like, why do good things happen to bad people? But generally people don't ask that question. They generally ask, why do bad things happen to good people? Because generally everyone thinks high of themselves and they think that we are good, but everything is going the wrong way for me. So therefore, they ask this question. And when we keep the title of this session in this manner, it attracts a lot of people. And it is still one of the favorite sessions amongst the other sessions, the 6-day course that we take here in our Chopati temple. So we can ask this question: how come that this devotee in the midst of devotional service gets cursed for no fault of his? And even devotees, when they study Bhakti Shastri and they read Nectar of Devotion, we come across verses like glorifying Bhakti. One of the traits or one of the qualities of Bhakti is Shubhada Moksha Lagutakrit. Shubhada means as soon as a person takes up to devotional service, he experiences auspiciousness in his life. So imagine that this great king engaged in bhakti has to face a fate of becoming an animal and an elephant of all of all the animals out of the so many crores of species of life. 64 crores of species, 84 crores of species are there. 84 crores, as it is said. So becoming an elephant of all these, amongst all the animals, it is considered to be a great fall down and very inauspicious destination. And but the Bhagavatam explains that for a devotee, nothing is inauspicious. He's always protected, irrespective of his destination. And we may have, or we may make our judgments superficially. Oh, just see. But therefore, we need to read the scriptures, and we need to hear the explanations. Someone who's not reading the Bhagavatam will never understand these concepts, because we are so external, externally we have such a superficial vision of things. Many times, when we experience reversals and we ask this question, it's very, as I said, many of us ask this question: why do bad things are happening to good people? But we have to understand, even though it seems bad, but it is not. And we know that Indra Dumna Maharaj, his return to Godhead was expedited. It would have taken a few lives. We don't know, but the Shastra says that within just one life, that means in the body of an elephant. Because you see that generally in the body of an animal, the soul does not attain mukti. And we know even in the episode of Bharat Maharaj, when he became, because of a mistake, a fault in his practice of devotional service, he became a deer in his next life. And as it is explained that even in the body of a deer, he remembered his past life. Jati smara, that is the word used for those who can remember their past life. And he was a jati smara. That means he could actually remember the devotional service that he had performed in his past life. He also remembered his mistake. And he was in a yogi consciousness, even in the body of a deer. And he didn't waste time. He spent all his time in the ashram of great sages, hearing to Bhagavad Katha, spiritual talks. And then he gave up his material, physical body of a deer and then took birth as Jada Bharata. So we see generally the principle is that it takes a human form of life to perfect. and
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Ah,
I just wanted to remind you today you have assigned 2 verses. I don't know if you know about it. We have the 6th
I have
verse.
been assigned one verse, 845. I
Oh,
was told
Yeah.
I was told to avoid.
Prabhuji, text 5 doesn't have any purport.
Yeah, so I was told to. You remember you
know.
sent a message saying that ignore 8.8434
No,
8434.
that verses also does not have purport. So what purport had, that many verses are taken. So fifth also doesn't have a purport.
I think there was one line, is it not? There was one line purport, didn't it?
Let's see.
Huh? Oh, nothing. Yes. Anyways,
No,
what I'm saying is that.
that is just the translation.
Okay, so you want me to read? You want me to read the which verse now? Because I have.
No, both because they go together because no purport.
Both means what? Third and fourth?
No, 5 and 6.
Oh, is it? You told me 5, so therefore I just read the 5. Okay, anyway, we will read it. So now I'm in the flow. So just I'll keep it later on. Mind if I just continue?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Read.
So because I'm already covering it, I already read the 5th verse in my before I started the class, and I'm going to recap and tell you what. In fact, when I recap the story, I already said that the Lord has touched Gajendra and gave him Sarupya Mukti. Yes. So don't worry, I'm covering the 6th verse also. So we see that Gajendra got liberation even in the body of a elephant. So it is quite a unique case, because generally, and in the 6th verse, it is said that because Gajendra, the king of the elephants, had been touched directly by the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was immediately freed of all material ignorance and bondage. Thus, he received the salvation of Sarupya Mukti, in which he achieved the same bodily features as the Lord, being dressed in yellow garments and possessing 4 hands. So, I was speaking about this. So, the destination that Gajendra attained is quite remarkable. Sarupya Mukti, he attained the same body as the Lord in the spiritual world. So therefore, a very important lesson that we can learn here is that do not be quick in concluding that, oh, bad things are happening to good people, or devotional service is not giving the results I expect. No, we have to have that faith that by performance of bhakti. See, we are not performing bhakti for getting any material results, whether good or bad. Okay, we know that bhakti is above good and bad. Okay, and in whatever situation, everything should be seen as a mercy of the Lord. And that's what Indra Dumna Maharaj did when he was cursed. He did not curse Agastya Rishi back. He did not feel offended. Oh, I didn't do anything. It was not my fault. Didn't you see that I was serving the Lord? I was in meditation. So he just took it as a mercy of the Lord, that okay, because of my past karmas, as the verse goes, Tatte no kampa susumikshamano bunjana evatma kritam vipakam ridvag vapurbhir vidadan namaste jivet yo mukti pade sadhaya bhak. So tatte no kampa susumikshamano. So expecting the compassion of the Lord, anukampa susumikshamano, if a devotee, he tolerates all the reversals in his life, considering to be the reactions of his own bad karma. Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Evatma kritam. Bunjana. That means he is experiencing the results of his own action. It is not anybody else, not any one particular person who is responsible for his suffering. He is Avashyam anubhoktavyam kritam karma shubha shubham na bhokte kshiyate karma kalpa koti shatairapi. Shastra says definitely everyone will have to experience the results of one's own karma, good and bad, shubha shubham. So it's his own karma, and when the results of his bad karma comes, he just tolerates it. Gunjan evatma kritam vipakam vidvag vapur bhir vidhan namaste. But with rid, with his heart, vag, with his words, vapu bhir, with his body, he offers everything in the service of the Lord, vidhan namaste, and with great humility, he is praying that, oh Lord, please, I am so fallen. Please bless me. Jivet yo mukti pade sadhaya vak. And that person, he becomes eligible for the mercy of the Lord. That is the way in which we have to face reversals. And here we can see Indra Dumna Maharaj. Now, since we have covered that point, I will also read the verse. Gajendro Bhagavat Sparshad Vimukto Jnana Bandhanat Prapto Bhagavato Rupam Pita Vasash Chaturbhujaha. So Gajendra attained the ultimate destination of Sarupya Mukti. Okay, so I've read that verse. I hope you are satisfied. So he attained the highest destination. So a very important approach to life that we have to learn, that we have to learn to see everything as the Lord's mercy. So this Indra Dumna Maharaj was a great devotee. And what about the crocodile? And yes, a very important, again, a lesson that we can learn from Indra Dumna Maharaj's life is that we should memorize verses. We should read Srimad Bhagavatam, and we should memorize the verses, the prayers of the devotees. We should chant the verses of Bhagavad Gita, because Indra Dumna Maharaj, by the grace of the Lord, could remember the prayers which he had memorized in his past life. So you see, it is never wasted. The memory is carried forward. Here we can see, even though they say that when a person dies, his memory does not go with him. Only the impressions go with him. Because memory is generally not considered so important, is it not? More important than the memory is the sanskaras, which makes us behave in a particular way spontaneously based on a particular incident that occurs in our life. Many times we react without thinking, is it not? Why? Because that is based on the sanskaras which we have attained from past lives. So more than the memory, this is sanskaras. But here we can see that if your memory is based on spiritual subject matter, then the Lord, they say that the whole life flashes through the mind of a person who is about to give up his life. They say that whole life flashes in a moment. He sees everything that he has done in his life. But then it stops at the point where he's serving the Lord. They say that if you have performed devotional service, then his whole life, which is flashing before his eyes, stops. Like, say maybe you're seeing a YouTube video and you are forwarding it and you come across a scene that you want to see and you pause it there. So something like that. For a materialistic person who has never done all these things of memorizing verses, reading Shastra, such a thing will never happen. His whole life will breeze, flash in front of his eyes and just be gone. But then for a devotee, it stops at the point where he is serving Krishna and he remembers Krishna. And here is the example that by the grace of the Supreme Lord, he didn't just remember what he did in that life as an elephant, but he also remembered what he did in his previous life as Maharaj Indra Dumna. And he could remember the verse which he used to chant in glorification of the Lord. And he chanted that holding a lotus in his trunk, and the Lord appeared and delivered him. So, there's a verse which I had come across. I think it was in Shubhashit or something like that, which said that the verse goes something like Gatepi Vayasi Grahya Buddhya Sarvatmana Vidya Sarvatmana Budhai Yadyapi Sanya Falada Sulabha Sanya Janmani. So, Gatepi Vayasi Grahya Vidya Sarvatmana Budhai. So, even though one is very old, but it is never too late to learn. Yadyapi Sanya Falada. So even though it may seem difficult to memorize and study Shastra in one's later years, Sulabha Sanya Janmani, but it will become Sulabha. It will become easier. What? In the next life. Next life, when we are born, we can pray to the Lord, oh Lord, I certainly put some efforts in my past life, so please give me the adhikar to study further. So like that. So it is said that it is never late to learn, so we should try. A very important lesson is to be engaged in hearing, reciting the verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, of course, we do recite many times in Gita Jayanti, people do recite all the mantras of the Gita, the verses of the Gita. But however, it is more important to understand what is meant by the verses rather than just rote repetition. Because in those days, people spoke Sanskrit, and when they spoke it, naturally they understood it. They speak and they understand simultaneously. But today, because Sanskrit is not a popular language, it's not a generally spoken language, and chanting verses may not ring bells. We may not understand what it means. So more important than simply chanting the Sanskrit verses is to actually understand the meaning and to analyze. Therefore, they say Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. This is important. Not just simply Shravana, but also Manan. Try to contemplate on the meaning, and Nididhyasana, meditate on the subject. So that is a very important phenomena or a devotional act that was performed by Indra Dumna Maharaj, and it is encouraging for all of us to also do the same. So the crocodile which bit the feet of Gajendra represents sansar. And all of us are at one point or another. I know that, here in Marine Drive, when I go for a walk, there's always a threat of being bitten by dogs because it is inhabited by many dogs there. And anytime you enter in a different place there, say if you walk a little further, there are more dogs, and when they see you and they don't recognize you, they come barking, and sometimes they may even bite you. But just recently, one of my brahmachari colleagues was bitten by a dog in Hanging Garden area close to our temple, and then he was given injections. So what can you do, you see? And I even complained to the municipality, and when I was once, a dog tried to bite me, and I clicked his photograph and I gave it to the municipality guys, and they said we can't do anything till he bites somebody. If he bites you, you should go to the doctor, get injections, and come with a certificate to us, and then we will do something. We will pick him up and we will sterilize him, or we'll give him injections, give him treatment or something like that. But without that, we can't, we are helpless. because there are so many dog lovers, he said. They are protecting the dogs. So nothing can be done. So all of us are facing this existential threat, and so many risks. Padam yat vipadam natesham. Just as in India, in Kashmir, Pahalgam, some of the tourists had gone for vacations, summer vacations, and all of a sudden, terrorists, they gunned down some of them. So we can understand that how when a holiday turns into a nightmare. So this is common. So this crocodile represents the miseries. Padam padam yat vipadam netesham. At every step in this material world, there is a problem in this world. And it should propel us towards the Lord. It should propel us. But not everyone, as I said, go towards the Lord. But those who are sensitive, those who are devotees are sensitive. And they can't. Prabhupada said this place is not ideal, not suitable for gentlemen. So some people are sensitive. Like, the eye. The eye is an organ which is very sensitive. Even a thread of a cobweb enters into the eye, you can't, you have to take it out. You have to deal with it. So similarly, some people, those who have performed devotional service, they find this material world intolerable. And they are propelled towards the Lord. And unless we are not desperate, and unless we are not hankering, therefore it is said mumukshatvam, that intense desire to be free, to be liberated from these problems, one will not get Krishna. Therefore they say, first is vivek, to understand what is eternal, what is not. What is Krishna service, what is not. To be able to see that difference, vivek. Second is to become detached from all that which is not related to Krishna, which is not Krishna conscious. Third is to do the practices of devotional service. Shama, Dama, control of mind, control of the senses. And finally, the intense desire to attain bhakti, to attain salvation, as it is said here. Thus he received salvation, sarupya mukti. So these four things are necessary for all of us. And the reversals in this world, this life propels us, makes us desperate. Makes us desperate, and then makes us want Krishna consciousness even more. So who was this crocodile? So this crocodile was the Gandharva, whose name was Hu, and he was in the river enjoying with his wives. And Devala Rishi happens to come there, and jokingly playing a prank, he entered into the water, underwater, and he pulled the Rishi's feet. And the Rishi became upset and cursed him to become a crocodile. So a very important lesson, that we should not prank devotees. Yes. There are so many videos, pranking videos. It's become so popular. So here we can see that one of the pranksters was Hu, the Gandharva. We shouldn't prank devotees, especially superior devotees. One should not do that. And the result of that was a curse, and he becomes a crocodile. However, you see that even though he was cursed, it turned out to be a blessing, because he was killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He got the darshan of the Supreme Lord. So you see that the Bhagavatam explains that a rishi or a great devotees, when they bless you or curse you, it is always to your benefit. So one should not fear the association of advanced devotees. Whether they bless you or they curse you, we should not be afraid of the association. Many times people are afraid of going close to sannyasi. Like just recently on Nirjala Ekadashi, one devotee was saying he went to the temple and one sannyasi came to him and he said, very simple sannyasi, very, very down to earth. And then he went and told him that today is Ekadashi. So you being Grasta, you should make a donation. So top up my mobile phone or something like that, he said. Or gave him his GPay or something like that. Make a donation. So he told me like this. So I said, yes, yes, of course, it is their duty. It is their right to ask for donation. Sannyasis are meant to ask for donations. Sannyasis and brahmacharis. So you should not say, Arey, why is the sannyasi begging for money? Of course, it is their right. What do you expect? That they'll go to companies and work and earn their livelihood? And they are giving you an opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord. They are engaging you in service. And I told him that what to speak of you. Even people ask me sometimes. I remember I was in Sri Rangam temple. One Brahmin came to me and he said, please, dakshana, give me donation. And I was surprised that why is he asking me? I'm a brahmachari. I don't earn money. But still, I had some, I mean, obviously we keep cash now. This is Kali Yuga, so I just gave him something. Therefore, we should not be afraid of associating with sannyasis, with great devotees, thinking that, oh, they will engage me in service, oh, they may become angry, oh, no. Irrespective of what they do, you will always stand to gain. Yeah, so generally people are afraid of associating, or they say, "Aure, dar lagta hai." They do such things. The dar is because you are having a false ego. You are afraid that your ego will be hurt. That is the fear, not that he is frightening. No, because you are afraid that your false ego will be hurt, you'll be humiliated, or something like that. So we have to keep our egos low. Shushushro Shraddhadanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Mahatsevaya Vipraha Punyatirtha Nishevanat. That verse which says that if you do not have taste for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, then do what? Go to the devotees of the Lord and serve them. And then you will develop taste. Vasudeva Katha Ruchi Mahatsevaya. When you serve great Mahats, then you will develop Vasudeva Katha Ruchi. People are afraid of God, people are afraid of saintly people in the age of Kali Yuga. And they love their karmas. But actually, Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us that fear your karmas and love God. Modern propaganda is to fear God. They say, no, be God-fearing. But Bhagavatam teaches us, don't be God-fearing, be karma-fearing. People fear God. In the modern world, people are fearing God and loving their karmas. But actually, we should be fearing our karmas and loving God. Why? Because our karmas do not forgive us. As I quoted the verse, Avasham Anubhaktavya. Karma is like a coat. It never will excuse you. It's like a law of nature. Even if a small child puts his hand into the fire will not think, why is this small child why is he so foolish? Oh, he's a small child, he's ignorant, I will not burn him. No, even if a small child puts his hand into the fire will burn him. That is the law of nature, law of karma. No one can escape it. It's merciless in that sense. But the Lord is not like that. He can overturn. He can manipulate the laws of nature. If he wants, he can. As I said, that hearing the prayers of the devotees, he comes and he takes away their karma. He can. Some people doubt that the Lord actually takes away the karma. Some people say, no, for a devotee, when you become a devotee, karma results you will get, but then you will not feel, you will be above that. You will not realize the results of the karma. That is also true. the Lord will give you the strength to overcome and face all the reversals that are coming as a result of your own karma. That also may be true. But to not accept that the Lord has the power to remove your karmic reactions is in a way atheism. Then it becomes a karma mimamsa philosophy, that karma is greater than God. Isn't it? If you feel that the Lord does not interfere in the karmic arrangement of a devotee, only proves that the Lord is not powerful enough. Karma is more powerful than God. So therefore, that is not true, and we should love God and fear our karmas. So this Hu, he was playing a prank, and he was pulling the leg of this rishi when he got cursed. However, because he held on to this feet of this great devotee, Gajendra, he got the dust and charnamrit in his mouth. As a result of that, he also received the blessing of Lord Vishnu. But because he was not touched by the Lord, he was reinstated in his position as the Gandharva. He was reinstated in the position of a Gandharva. So, nevertheless, he was delivered by the Lord. And so here we can see that this very wonderful episode speaks about how the Lord protects his devotees and how devotional service is always auspicious. Many important lessons we learned. Just to recap, we saw that how one should be very careful when it comes to treating devotees. Yes, I remember when I was in Japan, there's one thing about what we can learn from Japanese people, is that if you ask them for anything, any help, say, I mean, generally Japanese people are very introvertish. They don't socialize much. They don't talk to strangers. But if you happen to stop them and ask them for an address or something, they'll make it a point to then be very enthusiastic and then walk with you to the place, and make sure that you reach the place. So quite amazing, actually, quite touching. I've experienced it, that they will not look at you, they will not make eye contact, but if you approach them and you ask them for an address or something, okay, where is this shop, where is this grocery store, then I've seen that people actually walk you to that store and then make sure that you've reached there and like that. So pretty amazing. So if they can do it, why can't we? We should, as devotees, we should always be very careful in treating other devotees with respect, especially Atithi, those guests who come without prior notice or appointment. We learned about how not to judge based on external circumstances, because it may seem that Gajendra was performing bhakti, but his destination was very, very miserable. It may seem like that, but it would have taken him many lives in order to attain perfection. But the Lord expedited that process and he became an elephant. But in that elephant body itself, he attained Sarupya Mukti, which is quite uncommon. As I said, like, it takes a human form to perfect your life. But he became an elephant and he became Siddha. He became Mukta. And of course, we learn the importance of memorizing verses, reading Shastras, because that will go with us. By the grace of the Lord, we will be able to, and it is never too late to learn. So as I said that, even in old age, when one should not think it is too late for me to read Shastras or to hear lectures, because it may be difficult in this life, next life it will be easier. Sulabha Sanya Janmani. It becomes easier in the future. And of course, we discussed how we should not prank like Hu, He was pranking this great devotee, Devala Rishi, and got cursed in between, in return. So we should also be careful. Senior devotees, we should not joke with them. They may joke with us, but we should not do that. If a guru comes to you as a disciple and puts his hand around his neck, the disciple should not think my guru is trying to be friendly, and he should not return the favor by putting his hand around the guru's neck. That is an etiquette, actually. The guru is trying to be maybe connect with you on a particular level, but the disciple should always know his position. So therefore, this who, not knowing the etiquette, the protocol of how one should treat great devotees, he actually committed a great offense and got cursed in return. So, Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, they may ask now.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your wonderful class, Prabhuji. Very, very beautiful class. And you have summarized all the Gajendra pastime and many lessons from each sections of Gajendra pastime. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Like one of that was like how we memorize the verses, and that is gonna help us. And also, like, we should not be jovial to the seniors. We should be giving respect. Many, many lessons, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. The small act that we do in this life will gonna help us later. Like as you said, like initially it might be hard to do some devotional activities because the Maya doesn't let us to do. So much of material energy is there around us, which is forcing us to run behind illusion, which is not correct, or which or divert us from the spiritual path. But we should be steady and determined to practice our Krishna consciousness so that we can go back to Godhead and reach ultimate goal. Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a beautiful class. I have two raised hands, Prabhuji. Sudhakar Prabhuji, please go ahead with your question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Bol.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a very interesting lecture today. At least I got a couple of alerts from today's lecture. I have two questions, if I can ask. First one, it was mentioned Sarupya Mukti. So what is this Sarupya Mukti, or are there any other type of Muktis, or this is the only Mukti? If you can elaborate on that.
There are 5 kinds of muktis: Sarupya, Salokya, Sarishti, Samipya, and Sayujya. 5 kinds of mukti. So Salokya is the mukti. This, what we are talking about, is Sarupya, where a devotee is given a similar form as Lord Vishnu. Sarupya. So then Salokya, where a devotee will get residence in the same abode as the Lord. Sarishti. Sarishti means he gets the same opulence of the Lord. And Samipya, he gets to be a close associate of the Lord. And Sayujya is where he gets to enter into Nirvikalpa Samadhi, as they say. That is for the Advaita Vedantas. Advaita Vedantis, they aspire for the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. That is not a Vaishnava mukti. Devotees don't aspire for that kind of mukti. So these 4 kinds of muktis may be accepted by a devotee, but not the 5th. So these are the 5 kinds of mukti.
What was the 5th one reason, Prabhuji? Like you said, Sayuji, right? And it's merging into the Lord's.
Yeah, that is merging where the Advaitavadis, the Advaitins, they speak about the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Beyond the Saguna, Sakara, Brahma, Saguna, Nirakar, Nirguna, Sakar, Nirguna, Nirakar, and then beyond that is Sayujya. This is their conception, where the Lord has no form, Brahman, to merge into the Brahman, where you reach a stage where you see no difference between the Atma, the Lord and yourself, because there is no two, there is only one. Advaita. Advaita means not two, one. There are no two souls. There is no distinction. Swagata, Vigata, Bhed. There is no Bhed in that. They speak about this philosophy. Then they reach a stage where there are no thoughts, no activity, no action, and you become just consciousness, pure consciousness, one with the supreme consciousness, like that. So that is the Advait Vad, and we don't subscribe to that version of Vedanta as given by Shankaracharya. That is known as Sayujya. So we are for Vaishnavacharyas, like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Achintya Veda Tattva. Also, Mahaprabhu has taken from Vishishtadvaita philosophy of Ramanujacharya. He has taken the philosophy of Dvaita from Madhvacharya, and Nimbarkacharya's Shuddha Dvaita Dvait, and Vallabhacharya's Shuddha Dvait, in that sense. So these are all Vaishnava commentaries where the Supreme Lord Vishnu or Krishna is considered as the topmost, and liberation means to be situated in the service of the Lord, where the difference always remains. The Lord always remains eternally, the devotee always remains eternally, and the relationship between the Lord and his devotees of bhakti remains eternally. So the soul is eternal, the super soul is eternal, and so is devotional service. This is our Vaishnava Siddhanta. Just to summarize, it is a huge explanation, but however, this is what it is.
As a sadhak, like we hear that our aim is to go to the back to the Godhead. So what does that mean of the four? Is it like some people say going to Golok, or
Golok.
Salokya Lok? Yeah.
Golok is Salokya. So everything, it could be one, it could be two, it could be many at the same time. Going to, like say if somebody gets Sarupya Mukti and he gets to stay in Vaikuntha, that is both Salokya and Sarupya also. Is it not? So it could be one, it could be both, it could be three also, Sarishti, it could be Samipya, it could be all many at one time. Like that.
Prabhuji, in the Mirabai's case, what we learn from the stories is that she, finally, gets into the Lord's body. So that is something what you said, Sayujya, or it is something different?
It's all explanation given by the Advaita thought. But we don't believe, we do not accept that kind of interpretation. That we don't accept that kind of an interpretation. To say that Mirabai merged into the Supreme Lord is not true. Just as a bird merging into a tree does not mean he becomes one with the tree. The green parrot enters into the green tree and it becomes one with the tree. It's not true, to say that everything becomes one. In as much as when we say that all Indians are one, it is not true that now the population has, become one. It means that we are one in spirit. So becoming one with the Lord means becoming one in spirit, in trying to serve him. In as much as a body, the hands and legs are all part of the body, we don't differentiate saying that, my hand is separate. So similarly, Krishna says, Mamaiv Amsho Jivaloke. So Mamaiv Amsho means we are, in that sense, Krishna. Because we are his parts, we are his amshas. So therefore Mahaprabhu said, Achintya Veda Veda. We are non-different from him. Why? Because we are also Satchit Ananda. Lord is also Satchit Ananda. So becoming one with him means what? Like say the hand becomes one with the body. It is one with the body. The hand is not separate. It is a part of the body. So when we understand Mirabai or any such devotee entering into the Lord, we always understand that now he has become one in the service of the Lord and he's serving the Lord eternal. But he retains his individuality. Like in Gita, Krishna says that Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atha. There was never a time that I did not exist, and there will never be a time when you and I will never exist. That means the individuality of the souls is eternal. To merge is not true. Upanishad say, Dva suparna sayuja sakhaya samanyam vriksham parisasvajate tayor anya pippalam swadvatti anashna nanyo vijakashiti. Two birds are sitting on one tree. Dva suparna sayuja sakhaya samanam vriksham parisasvajate. So there are so many such verses which speak about being two, that is Dvaita. Achintya Veda, Veda. There has to be Veda. Eternal. Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam, Eko Bhavanam Yo Vidadhati Kama. There are not just one conscious, but there are many conscious. Nityo Nityanam. There is one Nitya, one eternal amongst many Nityas. Chetanas Chetananam, one conscious amongst many, many conscious living beings. Eko Bhavanam Yo Vidadhati Kama. That Supreme Lord who is fulfilling the desires of every other living being. So there are ample number of verses explaining that the souls remain individuals. So when you hear that Mirabai entered into some deity, that is a Advaitin explanation. We don't accept it. Absolutely not. Absolutely false. It is not possible.
We had the story of the Shishupal, right? And also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like that.
Same thing, that Shishupal or whatever, merging into the Supreme Lord means what? Becoming one with the Supreme. Jai and Vijay. Shishupal got reinstated as the servants, as the Dwarpal of Vishnu. They are Jai and Vijay. So you read Bhagavatam, it is explained. See, it is not possible to see the soul, is it not? Can you see the soul? How can you see a soul emerging? Is it possible? No. So we have to understand merging means what? How can we infer? We have to take the explanations of Bhagavatam for what it is. So they had to suffer for 3 lives. They had to become demons for 3 lives. Bhagavatam says. Jai and Vijay were cursed by the Kumara. Now again, about cursing, in fact, that thought came to me, I did not say it. So this is another example of being cursed and being blessed at the same time. That Jai Vijay was cursed by the Kumaras, 4 Kumaras, and that came as a blessing because they got to serve the Lord in 3 incarnations. First incarnation was Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. Second incarnation was Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Third incarnation was Dantavakra and Shishupal. And then when they were killed, then Shishupal's soul merged into the body of Krishna, and then he was liberated and went back to become the... And of course, devotees say Jai and Vijay are also, the 2 asuras in Chaitanya Leela.
Yeah.
So,
thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah. So they got reinstated as the Dwarpal of Vishnu.
Okay.
I hope that...
Yes, clear, Prabhuji. I was just wondering what was the difference. Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you, Sudhakar Prabhu, for your question. Anjali Mataji, do you have a question?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. I was just thinking, like crocodile, who the Gandharva, he was killed by Krishna, Lord. Then why he couldn't get liberated? He again was reinstated as a Gandharva.
See, liberation is not enforced upon anyone. The Lord gives liberation to those who aspire for it. he had material desires. So the Lord just freed him from all his sinful reactions and then reinstated him back into the position where he wanted to be.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes. So Gajendra aspired for a liberation. As Indra Dumna Maharaj, he was a mumukshu. He was aspiring, an ardent seeker of liberation. So the Lord became merciful to him and gave him that liberation. But who did not want it? Why should Krishna enforce bhakti to somebody?
Yes. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. I got it, Prabhuji.
As Krishna says, some people are going for something for money, some people are going for peace, some people are going. So they only get what they aspire for. Yes, next question.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah. Sudhakar Prabhu, you have one more question?
Mataji, yes, if I can ask, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Go ahead.
How do I get to see
Prabhuji.
who asked the question?
Sorry.
If they put on their videos, you can see Prabhuji.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
All
Hare
right.
Krishna,
Spotlight.
Prabhuji. Yeah. Prabhuji, I have another general doubt which you mentioned, like, one has to memorize the slokas. At least for me, I'm not able to, even pronounce slokas properly, nor even understand to digest the thing there. I'm trying to learn. So, do you have some tips for me at least how to,
It's like this.
learn Sanskrit and develop?
You have a friend. You have a friend, yeah, who has been a childhood friend. Yes, you have a
Not in
childhood.
touch nowadays.
Okay. Do you remember their names?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Okay. So just like that, when you are with someone throughout your life, you will never forget their names. So similarly, if you want to remember something, make them your friends. But that means always keep them by your side. So that means always just keep reading. That's how you remember. Like you come across a friend daily, you say, "अरे संजय क्या कर रहा है? चलो चलते हैं बाहर थोड़ा walk के लिए चलते हैं. Hey संजय तू इधर आ मेरे घर पे आ चलो." Something like that. So you keep calling his name, Sanjay. You're meeting him daily. So when a person has memorized something, it goes to show that he's keeping the association of that. So the verses are actually personalities. They are all serving the Lord by glorifying Him. So when you make friends with these personalities, they become part of you. They come into your memory. If you don't keep in touch, you'll forget. Then you'll struggle to remember. So when you spend time with Gita, with Bhagavatam, then you will remember. There's no other shortcut to it. No shortcuts.
Okay.
You have to be.
But that's the only difficulty I'm facing. I try to read it, then I get bored, then I stop it. So this is the problem, actually, Prabhuji.
So the problem
Not
is,
that.
the problem is boredom. So the problem is taste. Aspire for the taste. When you have the taste, like friendship, make friendship with Bhagavatam. And that's how you will then like to be in the association of Bhagavatam. And then it will become a part of you. That is the whole idea.
Okay.
We never forget that we like very much. Is it not? Like current affairs. You see, we do not miss to read the current affairs. We keep a tab of everything what's going on around us. And then we remember, we are quite well briefed. So just like that, when we feel the same about Bhagavatam, then it will become a part of us. But anyways, see, even if you don't remember anything, just remember one most important verse. What is that verse which you should never forget? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, don't forget this one.
Okay.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhu. I'll try. I'll try to be follow your principle or guideline here. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, very good. What is this, Prabhuji? Why you keep Nirjal Ekadashi on Dwadashi? Okay, so that is a technical question. That is regarding reading the charts, astrological. the the moon day and the sun day, that is taken into account in order to decide which day is suitable for keeping a fast. So that's technical. Even I'll have to go through that in order to explain it to you. So let's keep that for some other occasion. Yes, anything else?
Yeah, looks like there are no more questions, Prabhuji.
Somebody, Balaji has raised his hand.
Really? Did you
Balaji.
raise Bala Prabhu?
Yeah,
That
yes,
was Anjali Mataji who raised again. Okay, go ahead, Prabhuji.
yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Made a lot of people. Thank you so much for elaborate discussion on these two verses. I have one question. Yesterday we had a question on that Gandharva, Prabhupada writes previous verse in purport that he became associate of Supreme Personality of Godhead. But here in this translation, in this verse, we learned that he went back to Gandharva Loka. Can you reconcile that for me, please? We also had yesterday a lot of discussion on that, that how he went back to as associate of Supreme Personality of Godhead versus going back to Gandharva Loka.
See, the Arjun is an associate of the Lord, but he is in the material world, isn't he?
Yeah.
So an associate of the Lord does not necessarily have to go back home, back to Godhead. He does not necessarily have to go to Vaikuntha or Goloka to be an associate of the Lord. Anyone who is serving the mission of the Lord, anywhere he is an associate of the Lord. So after who received the darshan of the Lord, he's been chanting the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his loka, Gandharva Loka, makes him an associate of the Lord.
Okay.
But
so
not anyone and everyone wants to go back home, back to Godhead. Like Prahlad Maharaj, he doesn't want to go back home, back to Godhead. He says, I want to be here in this material world and help all those miserable people turn towards the Lord. So different devotees of the Lord aspire different forms of liberation. And they are associates of the Lord, irrespective of being here.
Okay. So he went back to, my understanding then would be he went back to Gandharva Loka to spread the glories of the Lord.
Glories of the Lord. He
Because
sings. Gandharvas are singers.
I see.
So I'm sure that he was the best of the Kirtaniyas.
Oh, I see.
Hmm.
My understanding was from yesterday's discussion also that in the upper planetary systems, there's a more chance to forget the Lord because of all the opulences that you have. That's why once the opulence is done, the higher people from a higher planetary system want to come to Earth, particularly in India, be born.
Yes. But there are exceptions everywhere. Just as we have preachers on Earth, there are preachers in that lokas also. That's why Narada is traveling everywhere as preacher. Narada and other rishis, the Deva rishis, they are preaching the glories of the holy name in those lokas also. So,
And similarly, they may be in the lower planetary system too.
yeah. Yes. Everywhere. The Lord gives opportunities in every loka. The Lord is present in Sutala Loka also as a gatekeeper.
Like a woman.
Yes.
Yeah, woman. Yeah. So eventually, every jiva has opportunity to associate with Lord.
Yes.
That's the prerogative as a jiva.
Yes.
So that's so merciful for Lord to give that opportunity for everyone.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's contrary to Western theology then, because in Christianity, the hell and the heaven they're quite opposite. So when you go to hell, you never come to heaven concept.
Yeah. They don't believe in reincarnation. They believe that this is our first and the last life. And after that, eternally heaven or eternal hell. But that is not acceptable to our
Yeah.
law.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, so we wind up here.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much once again for such a beautiful class. Very grateful to you. I would like to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu bhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace Akincana Krishna Prabhuji ki jai. Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Dandavad pranam. Thank you for the beautiful
Hare
class.
Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavad pranam,
Nityananda.
Prabhuji.
Hari Hari. Closing the call for today. We'll meet again tomorrow. Hari Bol.